my lovely viewers, welcome back. For those of you that are new, thank you for joining us. This is Lounging with Loris. So due to popular demands, today I'll be talking about my university experience, being an international student abroad, particularly England, what I consider to be the advantages and disadvantages of studying here. So I have my points written down. I'll be taking you through them. It is challenging. This might seem like a weird or strange point, but studying abroad is not necessarily as easy as people think it is. It has its challenges, its ups and downs, but it's all part of the fun experience, really. From my personal experience, these are what I consider to be the advantages of studying abroad. Firstly, it encourages independence because you're not with your parents or guardian. You're entirely liable and responsible for your actions. It allows you experience growth in the sense that you're taking more adulting roles and responsibilities that you'd not have taken if you're at home, such as finding a place to stay, having to deal with your landlords, paying your bills, with the help of your parents, but you're the one executing it, teaching yourself the public transportation system, and just a lot of things that you might not have been familiar with or not done the same way in your home country or wherever you were prior to coming here. Also, being in a new place can be overwhelming. For a lot of people, this is usually the first time of them traveling out of their home countries. So it tests your ability to cope and adjust to diverse situations while being able to problem solve. This is not a skill that everyone has, but your chance to acquire it as an international student abroad. It allows you learn new cultures as you meet people from across the globe. The UK is a very diverse place. You meet friends that were raised in different cultures, see things that you'd never have expected or thought that you'd come across, be able to learn things about people from, just learn about things from across the world. So the main reason you get a degree, you acquire a degree in the first place, is to be able to increase your career prospects. I think studying here helps you gain a great understanding of the world in general. You also chance to experience a different style of education. The education system here is not so far off different from what I did. For those people that did the British system or the countries that were influenced by the British systems, I think is majorly different or a lot harder for those that did the American systems when it comes to spellings and just being able to compose their sentences. But it's something they can get help of. It gives you focus and a sense of freedom in the sense that there'll be no one to push you around or do this, do that. You just move according to your own pace and your desires, and just you have a peace of mind and you get this sanity, this peace of mind. Focus, because a lot of universities are not based in loud cities. They're not based in the central cities. They're mostly like in the outskirts towns, so they're much smaller, quieter, and very student friendly. The other thing is that they have top quality education, because the UK has vast experience of many years in the educational system, and of course, no matter where you go, the goal is always to get the best quality of education possible. There are also enough learning resources at your disposal, 24 hours to the libraries, and you also have online libraries. If you're unable to find books online in the libraries, or they've all been borrowed, then at least you have access to download your e-copies of the textbooks and still be as productive as you'd have been in the libraries. And it's just very convenient for people that study all night, or those that are productive during the day, like the night owls. It's all just for everyone. The grading system is very different. A C, don't be surprised to get a 60 something, because that is an equivalence of a B. An A is 70 and above, which is really hard to get in my university, but like an 80 is what is close to impossible to get. I don't know if it happens in other places as well, or it's just my university or my course in particular, but that's what happens here. There are also tons of student discounts to take advantage of. You can either download your uni days, that you'd get 10 to 20% discounts in most shops like Topshop, H&M, New Look, and other stores across the country. Like for my uni, we've also got like student subsidized bus tickets, so they're really considerate when it comes to, they're not as considerate as other countries like Canada I've heard, where they have a lot of like international student benefits, but they try to be. We're also allowed to work as international students, so that is 20 hours during term time and up to 40 hours, which is full-time over the holidays. Yeah, so which is really good, because as international students we don't have access to publicly available funds towards our education, or benefits that are only available to the home students. So at least being able to work helps us be able to sustain ourselves for those, but other people anyways get full support from their home, which is good. So then they're just able to focus on their grades. But then I think it's not just being able to get money, but also work experience. You're able to gather work experience that will be able to help you later on when you move out of uni or when you finish your studies. There are also quite a number of disadvantages, culture shock being one of them. Things are very different on grounds, and it's not the same way it's shown in movies or on TV. There's quite a lot of racism and discrimination. You know, some is like direct discrimination, and others is just ignorant discrimination, you know, just because they don't want to learn about other places of, you know, other places they're not from. So yeah, in class also you have sometimes lecturers ignoring you, you know, ignorantly acting like you're not there. I've had this incident where my lecturer did that, I think about 3 times in a row, and my friend and I went to open up to her, and she was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry you feel that way, it wasn't deliberate at all. You know, why didn't we open up after the first incident? We didn't have to wait for it to be 3 counts before we could come to her." But you know, if it was like a huge lecture hall, then that would make sense. But the fact that it was small workshops of like 7 groups, really, why would you get answers from the 6 groups and miss one? So yeah, yeah, but she was sorry about it, so don't really know whether it was intentional or not. So sometimes you find at the workplace where Africans and Black people get tougher jobs, like they give them harder jobs, and then other people just seem to have it easier. I think I'll also do a video regarding my work experience, what it's been like working here. That would be interesting to hear. It can get depressing. Yeah, you should be able to get out of your comfort zone, go and make friends, because life here is very isolating. It's every man for themselves. People are too busy and caught up with their own lives. So you know, it's not like home where there's a sense of community and togetherness. So people can easily lose themselves here, especially when they don't have people to open up to, or people to keep them going, you know, to encourage them to keep them going. It's quite easy to indulge in vices because everything is so easily accessible, but you've got to have strong moral standards, stand firm in what you believe in, even when things get hard, you know, still uphold your moral standards. The weather. Nobody really tells you how terrible the weather is. It's so terrible, and what makes it even worse is the fact that it's very bipolar. It can literally be sunny in the morning, you think you're gonna have such a bright and warm day, and then it starts snowing or it gets extremely cold all of a sudden. I mean, other countries are really bad, like Canada. Other countries are a lot worse, but then at least in Canada you know that you're in winter, so you're prepared for it. It's cold. But then here it's just shifty, so it's always good to go with the weather focus. That is what I choose to go by these days. The support, the learning support, I don't think there is enough student support in my university. Maybe let me speak for myself, or my course, or the classes that I've been to, because to be honest, I don't think I've gained so much from taking so much from the classes. I think more, the only good thing is that they provide good reading materials. So you have like your PowerPoints are well organized with so much information. So a lot of it has been independent reading and group discussion. So be sure to pick your friends wisely. Your friends will either drag you down or lift you up. So yeah, I've had good friends that I've benefited so much from. For me, I think everyone has their own way of learning, but for me it's major like group discussions and being able to discuss something. That's the way I grasp things easily. Yeah, so for my university, I don't think there's enough student support. I know university is meant to be majorly independent studies, that's what they say, but the level of independence in my university is as good as doing an online course, truth be told. As long as they provide the materials and you get to do the rest on your own. You go to class and the lecturer starts by asking you questions of something that you did not cover with them. But that's what it is, and generally I've enjoyed my experience here. It's been good. I would change some things if I could, but I can't complain. Well, I hope you've enjoyed lounging with me. I hope you've taken something away with you, and I'll be sure to see you soon. Take care, stay safe, bye bye.